Good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon to you.
Would you mind giving us just 2 minutes for a short questionnaire?
Absolutely. All my time is yours. Tell me, please.
So our question is, would the company cabs be covered under the POSH Act?
Okay, so from an employee perspective and an employer perspective, so primarily any employee who travels through the cab, any of your stakeholders, your customers, your clients, your vendors, any of them are coming to your office for a business travel in a cab. Now, business travel is important. Yeah. So, if they're traveling for business to your office, they're covered under the POSH compliances and the POSH policy. So, cab in that regard is their business travel, and in that regard, yes, the cab would also be covered under the workplace. Second is that any employees of the organization, if they're traveling for business and they're staying in a hotel for business only, so again, that is also business travel. So anything that comes in the business travel gets covered under the POSH compliances. Yeah.
Also, how is an internal committee constituted?
So internal committee, there has to be a ratio of in equal proportion, the males and the females, and apart from which there has to be an external member, external IC, internal committee member, external one, because they are not biased towards any of the employees. They do not know the employees and they help getting onto a decision. They give their unbiased decision to the IC.
So that shows that IC is quite important.
Absolutely.
So per se, if the IC is not trained, how could that impact an organization?
It absolutely impacts the organization in a very serious manner. I don't know if you're heard of it or you're acquainted with the GE case, Genpact case, wherein an employee who was working in the capacity of a VP, he was 35 years of age, and just because of the mishandling of the complaint, he was not left with any option but to be committing suicide. And he did commit a suicide. It was all over the media, on the socials, and it was an anti or a debranding for the organization. See, all of us, all the employees, they work pretty good in their capacity as employees. But if it comes to a different role altogether, being IC member, I guess there's a crucial and critical need for the organization to be training them as to how would they be dealing with the role of the IC. Because if they will falter or fail not doing and conducting themselves in the way that they are supposed to, then of course there are going to be certain flaws and it could lead on to a damage